guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be covering a very frequently asked question and topic, and that's target schools versus non-target schools. This is a topic that's particularly important for investment banking, specifically for recruiting out of undergrad or out of MBA programs. Today's conversation is going to be slightly more focused on undergraduate colleges, but of course still relevant for MBA. It's just different types of programs and different schools. Now before I get into it, please remember to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. For investment banking, essentially what target versus non-target means is that target school basically means that the firm is actively recruiting at your school, and this is generally because there will be a bigger alumni base at that school, and because of that they'll have a better relationship with their students because these alumni who are already there are going to try to get more students from their school, and usually there will be a set number of spots per target school depending on the number of alumni and number of people applying. So for example, a certain school might have 5 full-time spots or 5 spots for interns that they're trying to fill, and then everyone who applied is competing for those spots. If you go to a non-target school, that probably means that you don't have as many alumni at that bank. Usually if there's a large number of alumni, you'll generally end up being a target school just because they have this quota that they're always trying to fill from that school. So what schools are target schools and what schools are non-target schools? So target schools are generally schools that are either Ivy Leagues or schools with names that you might have heard of. For example, Georgetown, University of Chicago, NYU, Stanford, MIT. Those are usually target schools simply because they generally have a very wide network on Wall Street. There are a lot of alumni that go there, and so these alumni are looking for students from their own schools. There are also semi-target schools as well. Some examples of semi-target schools would be schools like Vanderbilt or Emory. They have a decent number of people on Wall Street already, but not quite as many as, say, maybe UPenn or Harvard or Princeton has. So an example of a non-target school would, for example, be University of Connecticut, University of Colorado. There's so many out there, but just remember that if you go to a non-target school, it doesn't mean that you won't be able to get a job on Wall Street. Your strategy should just be different. So here I'm going to talk about the strategy for if you go to a target school and if you go to a non-target school, how you should go about the recruiting process. If you go to a target school, like I said, you will already have alumni from your school who are actively recruiting. HR might come to your school. There might be events specifically geared towards you guys, but that doesn't mean you can just relax and expect to get an interview. There might only be maybe 15 spots for an interview and 200 people from your school applying for that same position. As a result, you should be trying to network specifically with alumni from your school. Those are the people who will have the most power in pulling your resume, just because there are specific recruiting teams developed for target schools, and as a result, those recruiting teams will get together and talk about all of the resumes that they've received and all the interest that they've gotten for that school and come up with a list of interviewees. Another tip is that oftentimes your interviewer might be from your school. So if you go to a target school and you know that, for example, these 10 people are from your school, chances are some of them might be your interviewers, so it could be a good chance to get to know them first. Now, if you go to a non-target school, your approach should be a little bit different. Now, only if 2 people from your school went to this firm, or if there's no one at this firm who's from your school, don't fret. remember that everyone who went to a non-target school is now someone that you can connect with and someone who can pull you in. So there are also non-target recruiting teams. These teams are random, it's just whoever wants to join them, but these are composed of people who all went to non-target schools and are interested in recruiting people who went to other non-targets. It doesn't have to be someone from their school as long as it's a non-target. So if you went to a non-target school, your best bet is to network and connect with other people who went to non-target schools. Of course, you can still connect with an alumni from a target school, but chances are that they're going to be pulling in people from their own school and recommending people from their own school. So you have a much better chance of someone referring you to HR if they also went to a non-target. No matter which school you go to, because everyone has their reasons. You could have gone to a school for their better financial aid package. You could have gone to this school because of its better location. Like, everyone chose their school for a reason. But what I'm trying to say is that whether you go to a target school versus a non-target school, your approach to recruiting and networking should be different. The people you should be reaching out to should be different. If you go to a target school, you should definitely be pulling the alumni card and talking about similar experiences that you've had from attending the same school. And if you go to a non-target school, unfortunately, there will be more cold emailing. You might not have so many connections to these people, but try to leverage any connections that you have. Go on LinkedIn, look at the company, see what connections you have. Maybe they went to the same high school as you. Try to use any connections that you have. But I will say that if you do go to a non-target, you must go heavier on networking. It'll be harder to get your resume pulled just because there's thousands of applicants every year. So oftentimes a lot of these seats will end up being given to the people who have been referred to someone, whether they go to a target school or a non-target school. Thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know if there are any other questions you guys have on targets and non-targets. I just wanted to cover it briefly because it's a very frequently brought up topic. Let me know if you guys have any other questions down in the comments below. Please remember to give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and turn on that bell for notifications. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!